Mortal Shell. The shamelessly Souls-like. That is hard to say. Is it any good? Yeah. Yeah. I guess the only thing I really disliked was, it's just one level in particular, but there's like 5 levels, so it's kind of a big deal. A lot of the time, if not most, the openness of the levels is complemented by the game's easier difficulty. It's fun to explore because there isn't much risk, or at least not as much risk in Souls. But the big marble area, whatever it's called, it goes too far. The swamp and the dungeons at least have obvious physical attributes that help differentiate the multiple paths, but the marble area is just like one big flat plane. The only way to discern each way is direction. This one was left, I think, and this one was right, I think. Not only that, but it just keeps going. It is a long area. After you make it past the first bit, the area just turns into a gauntlet of perilous catwalks and annoying confrontations with the same 4 enemies that you fought 9 times before. And now 10! Eventually, to try and preserve my already puttering brain, I started just sprinting by the enemies, and they just kept fucking coming. I must have run by like 20 encounters, and it was fucking worth it. Honestly, I dislike this area so much that I'm hesitating to start a New Game Plus run, which I'd really been looking forward to. What I like about the game, though, really outweighs that. Mortal Shells is surprisingly easy, at least compared to Souls. It'll still bust your balls now and then, I won't lie, but it can be kind of forgiving. It's got Sekiro's 2-life system, which I like a lot as a way of adding both security when I have the one man, and ball-shriveling panic when I don't. This latter emotion is even boosted in Mortal Shell because you have to run back to your body as gross pasty one-hit man to actually gain back your abilities after being killed the first time. It's also got this hard mechanic, which allows Paste Man to freeze in place as a statue and negate all damage. This is on a cooldown and only worked for a certain window of time. Both of these mechanics combine to add an inherent security to moment-to-moment combat. I like this difficulty because it allows me to appreciate all of the fresh mechanics, locales, and enemies in Mortal Shell as I discover them. While I appreciate the grueling test that Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro all put me through, it's refreshing to have some actual fucking confidence on my first playthrough of one of these games. What I prefer about Sekiro's combat versus Souls is that little is left up to chance because of the parry. Mortal Shell's playstyle in general is a lot more like Souls than Sekiro, but the dodge hitboxes are insanely generous. There was not a single time that I thought, oh, I shouldn't have been hit by that, I dodged perfectly. If I thought I dodged correctly, I did, and if I panicked and dodged too early or late, I got hit. This fat invulnerability window is made up for by the comparative drought of healing items. Soulsborne Sekiro has the flasks, the vials, and the gourds. Mortal Shell has mushrooms that heal like nothing over 20 seconds, and are found on spare patches sitting around the world. To get somewhat consistent healing, the player has to get in nice and close and personal, and I don't know why I can't stop fucking doing the British accent. To get somewhat consistent healing, the player has to get nice and close and, god damn it. The player has to get nice and close and personal and parry the big bitch and suck out all of their lifeblood. It's super satisfying to pull off, and the reward of health is all the more valuable because it's so scarce otherwise. There's a few other ways to risk gleaning health too, like when you die the final death, your body is left behind, like how your souls are left in that other fucking dumb game. And when you pick it back up, you get all of your health back, so you can maximize the health regain by getting whacked a bunch of times and running over and grabbing your shell. Mortal Shells totally has its own 2 legs to stand on. I'd recommend it. In fact, and this is kind of something for another video, but I'm honestly not a huge fan of the Soulsborne games. I actually prefer the way that this plays. But I guess you could still call Mortal Shell, Dark Souls, Recoded, New Difficulty Options, Insane, Bowser's Fury, All-Stars Deluxe. If you really wanted to. Dark Souls Recoded, New Difficulty Options, Insane, Bowser's Fury, All-Stars Deluxe. Dark Souls Recoded, New Difficulty Options. Dark Souls Recoded, New Difficulty Options, Insane, Bowser's Fury, All-Stars Deluxe. Dark Souls Recoded, New Difficulty Options, Insane, Bowser's Fury, All-Stars Deluxe. But I guess you could still call Mortal Shells Bowser's...